Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Payne. Welcome back to another video at Blu Ocean Crypto. Today we're going to do a review and score of Shatterpoint. We did this recently for Citus Heroes. A lot of you guys know at Blu Ocean Games Guild, we have a dedicated research team, full-time staff. Their job is to go out and hunt and find the best play-to-earn projects, write up reports to save you guys time when you're trying to figure out if it's worth your time. So let's jump right into it. So first, we're going to take a look at their website, kind of go through everything here. Then we're going to jump over and go through the report. So it talks about welcome to the Shatterpoint universe. I like this interactive website and how they do that. So Shatterpoint is a free-to-play, free-to-own action RPG for mobile that features PvP and PvE gameplay modes and an interactive, narrative-driven universe. It says you can register for early access, and it's coming soon on the Apple App Store and Play. You can get your exclusive NFT avatar on Magic Eden or OpenSea, and I'll show you guys the OpenSea collection here soon. Talks about choosing your battle. I like the art style. It's going to be very appropriate for mobile as well. So it talks about challenging others, climb the leaderboards, claim victory in tournaments, and take on your friends and enemy in player versus player. Survive the Shattering. So it talks about the Shattering effect. You know, levels reset. All heroes level reset to 1, whilst NFT heroes retain their unlocked traits. So that's obviously the advantage. There's a Shatter's equipment loss. The Shattering is so powerful that all equipment is reduced back into its core resources. This is going to keep the competitive side of the game moving forward. So that way, new people who come in feel like they get a chance to compete and can kind of start fresh with other people. Then they talk about things that are shatterproof, runes and resources. All runes and in-game resources earned during the previous season available in the new season. That's kind of cool. It's almost like a little different from Axie Infinity, where like the runes and charms are the things that go away every single season. So just kind of going down here, talks about choosing your hero. There's Admiral Friendly Scottfield. You can see he's got some bait strengths. Shatsu. So obviously it depends on your play style and kind of how you want to play. Obviously there's different stats. You know, I kind of like this guy here because he's got good constitution and he's got this giant axe. They talk about different abilities, personalize your game experience, combine different equipment to set and customize your hero to best fit your play style. That's pretty sweet. Multiple ways to play, campaign, multiplayer, PvP, and skirmish. You can kind of get a sense of some of the gameplay here and how it's going to be on mobile. You know, it is kind of that touch, you know, where you're moving around and you're doing the attack like that. But I like that for the mobile setting. I think this game is really appropriate for it. Talks about different worlds. You got Regalia, you got Mulsig, Moltar. So obviously this is going to change, and then Shatterpoint, you know, change kind of the environment and everything that you're dealing with. They also talk about game changers, you know, seasonal content resets, daily and weekly challenge rewards, become an owner, in-game and on-chain marketplace. I like what they're doing because it's simple, but complicated in the sense that there's these seasons and resets and NFTs and stats. So like easy to play, probably hard to master. And I like how they have their roadmap here. They can kind of just see going along, you know, Founder Hero FT Collection, closed alpha, open beta, and then Q3 2023, the V1 launch, all gameplay play modes, and then Shatterpoint V2 launch, tournaments and events. That's kind of what we're expecting right now. Then what's next is coming up. So talks about prepare for battle, join the Discord. You can register now to get in. So just kind of a quick look at their website. Here is the OpenSea collection. You know, it's relatively affordable, I would say, at this point to kind of pick up some of these founder heroes. Don't really know how long that's going to last, but I mean, the prices are decent. If we take a look at some of the activity, we can see here there's been a healthy amount of buys. You know, obviously it wasn't like it was back in January, but if we come here, we can see like 43 sales, you know, on November 12th, there's 12 recently, 14. You know, this isn't too bad. It's definitely healthy to see. I mean, of course, we'd love to see more activity here, you know, showing us an average price in ETH. We could take a look through here and kind of see it's like $20, $25. You know, nothing too crazy. Could be a good time to get in, you know, and I do like the gameplay and how they kind of have things set up. We can see a total volume, floor price, you know, 4% listed, how many unique owners. So now that we got that out of the way, I want to show you guys our research report. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper. We're also going to break down our confidence rating and our score to show you what, in our opinion, we feel this game is doing good, where it could work, and why we gave it that score to begin with. So right off the bat, it's a 4.1 out of 5. Be sure to stay to the end of the video here because we'll break down what that 4.1 means. It's on Matic and it's an ARPG. Target audience is gamers, play to earn. So like we know, there's PvE and PvP. You can kind of see the characters here. Also, Phoenix Fire was the one who created this report, so shout out to him. Appreciate all the hard work on that. Talk about how there's a skirmish mode also available, which will allow players to gain in an endless level, gain additional equipment and experience. Players can portal keys once collected, allow them to explore other parts of the world or boss chapters. So it's not just PvP only, but I almost feel like it could be like League of Legends, like capture the flag, like skirmish, lane control kind of stuff. Then you also have this PvE mode, which is really neat. So after completing a level, players can view their new equipment, equip it to the heroes to gain additional stats and abilities. You can dismantle it to earn shields, which can be used to purchase utility boxes for a chance to gain higher quality gear. That's really cool. There's going to be a lot of equipment, gaining, re-equipping, upgrading. I really like that. I'm quite interested in this game myself. I think it's something that's worth paying attention to. Maybe not something I would jump in and play right away. I want to let this game get developed and get it on the App Store. Right? I'd love to see how they can work around compliance, because we know that's a big thing in this industry that a lot of projects are dealing with, and they really haven't quite gotten there yet. Now, I might be missing out though. Maybe I'll pick up a couple founder heroes. That's it. I'll kind of hold and see, but this is definitely my style of game. They talk about how runes and NFT items found and used to enhance abilities. Runes can be engraved using quant dusts. And remember, from the website, we know that runes are going to transfer season to season. So they're not going to be destroyed like all of your equipment that resets at the end of every season, or your hero going back to level 1. Talks about daily and weekly challenges. The only way to gain quant dusts and runes is spend on repairing gear, unlocking traits, rune engraving and merging, and purchasing utility boxes. Then once geared up, players can make their way or bring their skills to PvP mode to battle other players for the top spot on the leaderboard. I think this is awesome. This is where the competitive side is going to come in. Probably where the best rewards will lie. I've noticed a lot of these play to earn games, I almost want to say a healthy but interesting way that they're doing a lot of the rewards is they'll make it very leaderboard oriented so that there can be good rewards at the top. Doesn't necessarily mean that the everyday logging in and doing your things, the rewards or the earnings are going to be very good, but for those diehard fans, they are. This actually isn't a bad model in my opinion, because it means that if you're willing to put in the time, energy, and effort and get to those higher rankings, well, you're going to be rewarded for your time to do that. And it makes it a little bit more sustainable for the project because they can keep a lot of the tokens are reserved for that leaderboard. So they do talk about the Shattering. We mentioned that on the website, where it resets all non-NFT heroes to level 1 to some all earned equipment into shards and resetting the PvP leaderboards. That's pretty cool. But it does say here, holders of NFT heroes keep their hero levels. So on the website, there's a little bit of information about maybe it happened to all of them. So obviously, maybe this is the idea of getting the upper hand when the new season starts. That's cool. That's why we make this research report, so we can find out these nuances, little details to figure out what's the whole point of having the NFT hero. Well, it helps during the Shattering. Also, the tokenomics. I like this. I'm a big critic when it comes to tokenomics. I do think that there's some work that they need to do here. I'll kind of go into this. They talk about how you've got the PvP cycle, with expansions, action, rewards. You've got the PvE cycle. Then there's the hero and rune investment. So basically the idea is the hero and rune investment is going to be their main burning mechanic. This is where a lot of things have to be reinvested into the game. And I do think what I like about this is that this is the style of game that really promotes reinvesting, because if you want to go for the leaderboard, want to progress in the game, you need to constantly be reinvesting into your hero and your runes and spending all the stuff that you're collecting. What I don't like about it is I feel like it's overly simplified. And I wonder if there will be a saturation of tokens at some point or how that will work. But because of the resetting, maybe that's how they can help kind of stay on top of that. So I do like the burning. I do think the resetting of the character levels for the non-NFTs and all the equipment going and kind of needing to do that and make more will help with the constant burning. So maybe the simplicity is actually a benefit. I'm just going to be curious to see how this actually does. It's also going to, it will feature a non-standard 2-token system, SHA, is a cryptocurrency and the governance token for Shatterpoint. Has a limited supply and can be staked and used for marketplace transactions of NFTs. It can be used to buy the unlimited in-game operational token, which is Quantus, UUA. It's going to be the currency to use to operate the game, bet on matches, and will be tradable into SHA unlimited qualities. Before I move on, bet on matches. This single feature is something that made me take this game much more seriously. Being an esports focused game guild ourselves, I'm very much big into like wager matches. That's why we love Mobby so much. A big reason why we love Mobby so much. I think this is the future of gaming. So being able to bet on a match, maybe as an observer or as an active participant to wager up a certain amount of crypto, that gets me pumped. Those are the kind of games that I want to spend countless hours on to become as good as I can so that I can be in control of betting on my own skill, essentially. So there's different ways to earn the quanta. They talk about all of this, achievements, daily, all the seasonal challenges, tournaments, wagered PvP fights, right? Like this is freaking awesome. So let's go. That's why I'm saying I do want to get involved in this game personally a little bit more. We had our research team really dive into it deep. Caught my attention above a lot of the others. That's why I'm bringing it to you guys here today. Talks about what you use the QA for in-game activities. There's lots of stuff. There's hero trait rerolls unlocked, utility boxes. This is where a lot of the burning comes for. They do talk about how there's different types of NFTs as well. There's the hero NFTs, gift card NFTs, which are interesting. Gives you access to a hero, but they will not be considered founder NFTs. Still lose their level, but they do not get the other bonuses offered to the Genesis hero holders, runes, and cosmetics. Now, runes are the ones that we know are retained by players every season. Maybe there's an argument that those are going to be some of the most valuable NFTs. So, barrier of entry, not much. It's available on mobile devices, Google Play for free-to-play players and NFT holders. Maybe it's only on Google Play, or maybe it's an APK version. We do know that a lot of projects are kind of getting around some of the compliance stuff. They're not it in the best way. They're kind of just getting it up and then dealing with it. We know Crime vs. Zombie kind of did this. It was like, hey, why is it on Google Play? So I do worry about it getting pulled off if they're not following all the compliance stuff. Getting over Apple, though, that's kind of a big milestone. If they can figure out how to be compliant with Apple, then maybe we're in for a wild ride here. And I do see some inner workings and some groundwork being done and some foundations being laid to allow that to happen. So it will be interesting to see. They also talk about for guilds, there's really no specific guild features. However, it is possible for a guild to own multiple heroes and have their members grind over runes. That's kind of cool. There'll be an opportunity for play to earn guilds. Not too much on partnerships and their development team. We can see what they're doing here. It's blocked games. We do talk about how Block Games is an international gaming mobile studio with over 200 million active players, 50 plus games, 1.5 billion downloads worldwide. So these guys know what they're doing. A little more information about their team I would like, and kind of what they're all doing there, but there really wasn't much out there. We've seen the roadmap, but let's dive into our score. So 4.1 out of 5. Fun factor, we give it an 80%. Shatterpoint's gameplay is as clean as it looks. It's reminiscent of Web 2 mobile games, right? NFT holders will have a distinct advantage over non-NFT holders, which could be good or bad. It could cause a little bit of frustration for people who haven't spent the money. So maybe that's part of the reason why the fun factor is 80%. Tokenomics model, also 80%, because it does still look like it's being formulated. I agree with that. They have their governance token nailed down, their operation token nailed down. They have flow ins and outs with value stored in the NFT's assets being favored. Like I was mentioning, it does incentivize reinvesting. The bridge between Qua and Sha is the only doubt here, but is not likely to have a major impact on the success of the game financially. So we will see, right? And is it all about the tokens? They're going to be microtransactions. How are they going to do that? And compliance, right? Really kind of worried about the compliance with this one. Team 80%, no specific faces here, but the two companies who are making this game are very accomplished. That's a red flag. The 80% was kind of high here, but I think because of the two companies behind it, that's why it is. Generally, if they're not doxed, the team isn't doxed, that's a big red flag for us. But, it's kind of like you have this Ubisoft is Ubisoft. You don't just say, here's the team, but even they do that. They'll talk about the team on who's building Assassin's Creed and who's on this game. So I'm not too sure why they're kind of staying behind the curtain there. Community, 80%. It's clear these companies have a large existing player base. This is where it's good, right? They can leverage that previous existing player base into this new Web3 medium. We've seen, Kuni do it. We've seen Ragnarok and Gravity do it. This can be a great way to help bridge the divide by leveraging a Web2 player base, bringing them over to Web3. They don't just have to market to Web3 only people. Plans for growth is the highest rating, 90%. The game already has playable elements and NFTs deployed, but the SHA token has not been released yet. Smart move, Shatterpoint is currently in its closed alpha phase on time, June 9th. And to confirm, the SHA token is still not launched, and it's currently in its closed alpha phase. So cool to see that it got a 90% on the plans to growth. So as I remind you guys, it is a 4.1 out of 5. And just some additional comments from Phoenix here. It's an interesting concept. For playing the beta, the combat is pretty fresh and fun, and he felt it was easy to gain equipment within the game. Weekly Shattering offers a fun and exciting aspect to look forward to every week and gives players a focus to earn as many rewards as possible before losing all equipment and levels to play. It'll be nice to see the game fully released and available for both FTP and PD players. See how popular the game will get, and if the gameplay becomes stale or stays consistently refreshing or fun. Very good point. Will this be a popular way to earn? It's hard to say, as the community is still rating on release of the SHA Tokenomics. So, Tokenomics maybe needs some work. Compliance maybe needs some work. Looks fun. Looks very suitable for mobile. Has a cool seasonal kind of component to it with the shattering and everything, and has a good incentive to reinvest in the game. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, we're really appreciative to everyone who subscribed to the channel. It really makes a big difference to us. And thanks for smashing that like button. See you guys all in the next video. Cheers.